When the moment of death arrives, the soul experiences one of the most profound transitions it will ever know. The first event that occurs is the severing of the silver cord, an energetic tether that links the soul to the body throughout life. This cord, often described in ancient mystical texts and modern near-death experiences alike, anchors the life force into the material form. Once the body can no longer sustain the soul, whether through illness, accident, or natural aging, the cord detaches, and the soul begins its withdrawal from the dense vibration of matter. At no point is the soul forced or judged by external forces. Everything that unfolds is governed by the soul's own energetic frequency and readiness to move forward. The universe operates under the law of vibrational resonance. Souls are drawn naturally toward the realities and beings that match their inner state. Those who are ready for light move effortlessly toward it. Those who carry heavier energies may linger briefly in transitional states, always under the watchful care of compassionate guides. In this sacred moment, the soul stands at the threshold of a vast and wondrous journey. The voyage through the interlife, the realms that exist between one earthly incarnation and the next. Death is not the end, it is the opening of a door, the first breath in a new dimension, the reawakening of the soul to a greater reality that has never been separate, only momentarily forgotten. After a soul awakens from the body at death, it begins its journey through the astral realms, vast energetic dimensions organized by vibration and consciousness rather than physical geography. Souls travel these realms across astral bridges, which can feel light and easy or heavy and difficult, depending on the soul's emotional and spiritual clarity. Souls filled with love, forgiveness, and acceptance move easily, while those burdened by anger, regret, or attachment may struggle and get pulled into denser areas. The first major force a soul meets in the astral is its own emotional residue. In the astral, without physical distractions, the soul feels its unresolved emotions or inner peace fully. The realm acts like a perfect mirror, immediately reflecting the soul's true inner state. Many souls then pass through intermediate worlds, transitional spaces known by different names in various traditions, like the bardo or purgatory, where they rest, reflect, and heal. Some pass through quickly, others stay longer, processing wounds or unfinished desires. Throughout this journey, souls are often helped by soul receivers or light beings, compassionate guides who communicate through pure thought and feeling, offering reassurance and support. Not all souls move easily, though. Some become earthbound spirits clinging to the physical world due to strong attachments. Yet even these souls are not abandoned. Guides continue working gently to help them heal and move forward. Importantly, nothing external is judging the soul. Everything it experiences is determined by its own vibrational state through the law of resonance. The soul essentially creates its own reality in the astral realms. As the soul continues to rise, it sheds heavier attachments, memories of pain and identity soften, and it reconnects to its deeper truth. It is a timeless, divine traveler on an eternal journey of growth. By the end of this phase, the soul is ready for its next great step, confronting and understanding the full story of its life, leading to profound insight and transformation. Once the soul has traversed the astral realms and shed the immediate emotional residues of its earthly life, it enters a series of profound stages designed to assist in its healing, growth, and preparation for what lies beyond. These stages are universal, though the experience within them is highly personal, shaped by the soul's maturity, history, and vibrational state. The first stage is known as the shock phase. Even for souls who anticipated death, the transition can feel overwhelming. The sudden removal from the dense material world into an expansive, limitless plane of existence creates a sensation of wonder, but also temporary disorientation. During this phase, guides and loved ones often come forward, surrounding the soul with familiarity and love, helping it to anchor itself in the new reality. The soul slowly acclimates to the absence of gravity, linear time, and the physical senses. It begins to realize that thought is now its primary mode of movement, communication, and creation. Following the initial shock, the soul enters the orientation phase. In this stage, the soul is gently guided toward understanding its new environment. It may be brought to structures that resemble learning centers, resting places, or gardens of healing light. These environments are not physical in the earthly sense, but are incredibly vivid and tangible to the soul. Orientation often involves meeting with personal spirit guides who lovingly remind the soul of its eternal nature and reassure it that nothing has been lost, only transformed. Here, many souls are shown glimpses of their spiritual families, groups of souls with whom they have journeyed across many lifetimes. The next and perhaps most profound stage is the life review phase. This phase is not a judgment imposed from outside, but rather a compassionate self-assessment conducted in the presence of loving guides. The soul reviews its entire life in vivid detail, experiencing each event not only from its own perspective, but also from the perspective of those it affected. Moments of kindness, cruelty, indifference, and love are felt deeply and directly. If the soul caused pain, it now feels that pain as if it were its own. If it inspired joy, it feels that joy multiplied across time. This experience is often described as overwhelming, but also deeply transformative, as it allows the soul to grasp the full consequences of its actions, not through guilt or punishment, but through empathetic understanding. During the life review, the soul interacts with the Akashic mirrors, energetic records that store every thought, action, and intention across its lifetimes. These mirrors are not cold recordings, but living reflections of the soul's journey, imbued with the emotional and spiritual significance of every choice. Through this sacred process, the soul sees how each small decision rippled outward, affecting countless lives in ways it could never have fully understood while incarnated. This realization often triggers a deep and lasting transformation within the soul, a desire to grow, to correct imbalances, and to become more aligned with unconditional love. After the life review, the soul moves into the healing phase. Here, the soul enters places that can best be described as healing temples or spheres of light. In these spaces, the soul is bathed in energies that restore and rejuvenate its subtle bodies, cleansing away traumas, regrets, and emotional scars accumulated during earthly life. Spirit technicians, highly evolved beings skilled in energetic healing, assist in this process. They mend fragmented parts of the soul's energy field and help the soul reintegrate aspects of itself that may have been wounded or suppressed. In this phase, the soul experiences deep rest, often immersing itself in fields of pure color, sound, and light that nourish it at a level far beyond what we can imagine in physical form. The reflection phase follows naturally after healing. In this stage, the soul contemplates its growth, its lessons learned, and the deeper meaning of its earthly experiences. It may meet again with its soul group or spiritual council to discuss the evolution of its consciousness. This phase is often characterized by profound feelings of gratitude, humility, and an expanded sense of unity with all of existence. The soul recognizes that every experience, even those filled with pain and suffering, served a purpose in the grand tapestry of its development. Finally, the soul reaches the integration phase. Here, the wisdom and growth gained from the recent incarnation are woven into the deeper fabric of the soul's eternal being. This is not a forgetting of life on earth, but rather a transformation of that life into pure understanding and strength. The soul now carries these new qualities into its higher essence, preparing for whatever path it may choose next. Whether that path involves returning to earth, exploring higher dimensions, or taking on new roles within the spiritual realms, the soul moves forward with greater awareness, compassion, and purpose. Throughout these stages, the soul is never abandoned or left adrift. At every moment, it is surrounded by beings of light, love, and wisdom, whose sole purpose is to assist its journey homeward. Death is not an end, but a gateway to a larger, richer existence where the soul is lovingly guided to remember who and what it truly is. An immortal expression of divine consciousness, ever growing, ever evolving, ever loved. After the soul has completed the stages of healing, reflection, and integration following its last earthly life, it stands at the threshold of another great mystery, the preparation for a new incarnation. This process is far from random. It is a deliberate, intricate, and profoundly sacred unfolding that takes place within the realms of spirit, overseen by the soul's guides, elders, and its own higher self. The first step in this process is the clarification of intent. The soul, in consultation with its spiritual guides and a council of wise beings, often called the Council of Elders, reviews what lessons it most desires to explore, heal, or master in its next life. These intentions are not chosen lightly. They reflect a deep yearning within the soul to expand its wisdom, to balance energies from previous incarnations, or to participate in broader cosmic purposes, such as collective evolution. Sometimes the soul seeks to experience unconditional love, forgiveness, courage, creativity, or leadership. Other times it chooses to resolve karmic imbalances, either debts it has incurred or wounds it seeks to heal. Once the soul's intentions are clear, it begins the profound task of choosing its new parents. Contrary to common belief, souls are not randomly assigned to families. They are drawn by resonance, by the vibrational qualities, genetic lineages, emotional dynamics, and life circumstances of potential parents. Parents provide the initial environment, the biological vessel, and the early emotional templates that will either challenge or support the soul's intended growth. Some souls choose parents who will nurture them with love and stability. Others courageously choose parents who will be distant, harsh, or even abusive, knowing that overcoming these early challenges will catalyze massive soul growth. This is one of the most difficult truths to comprehend from a human perspective. But from the soul's view, every experience is ultimately in service of awakening. Simultaneously, the soul often participates in the selection of siblings and extended family. These beings too are not random, but usually members of the soul's larger spiritual family, souls with whom it has incarnated countless times before in various roles. A brother in this life may have been a rival in another, a sister, a beloved mentor, a mother once a student. Together, these souls form intricate karmic webs, helping one another to evolve through love, conflict, support, and challenge. Before birth, agreements are made at the soul level. I will help you learn patience. You will help me discover my strength. We will mirror each other's wounds so we can heal them. As part of this intricate design, the soul also plans key encounters with soulmates and twin flames. Soulmates are souls with whom we share deep bonds of love and mutual support across many lifetimes. They can manifest as romantic partners, lifelong friends, mentors, or even brief but pivotal acquaintances. These meetings are rarely accidental. They are orchestrated through soul contracts designed to trigger growth, healing, or remembrance of one's deeper truth. Twin flames, on the other hand, represent an even more profound connection, often described as two halves of the same original soul, separated long ago to experience individuality and later seeking reunion. Meeting a twin flame in a lifetime is rare and often tumultuous, for the mirror they hold up is total and uncompromising. The soul must be prepared for the intense transformation such a meeting demands, and not every lifetime is suited for it. Therefore, before birth, a soul may choose whether or not to initiate such a monumental encounter. Another crucial aspect of pre-birth planning is the life path and vocation. Contrary to the human belief that careers are merely economic choices or accidents of circumstance, the soul often chooses vocations that will place it in environments where its chosen lessons can unfold. A soul seeking to learn compassion may become a healer, teacher, or caregiver. A soul seeking to explore power and responsibility may be drawn to leadership roles. Some souls choose paths of hardship to awaken dormant gifts within themselves. For example, an artist born into poverty who must overcome obstacles to express beauty to the world. Even failures from a human perspective often serve a deeper success from the soul's view, fostering humility, perseverance, or spiritual awakening. Importantly, all these choices are made with free will and deep wisdom, but also within the understanding that once incarnated, the soul will forget much of its plan. Earth is a realm of free will and veiled memory. Part of the soul's courageous journey is the willingness to enter this forgetfulness and rediscover its truth through experience, choice, and inner seeking. The soul knows that it may stray from its path, encounter unexpected detours, and even create new karmic entanglements. Yet it also knows that every experience will ultimately be gathered into the treasury of its eternal growth. Once the soul has finalized its life blueprint, including major life challenges, opportunities, relationships, and exit points, it prepares for the most sacred moment, the descent into incarnation. In this final stage before birth, the soul is blessed, strengthened, and often given a final vision of its higher purpose. Then, with immense love and courage, it moves toward the gateway of physical life, ready to dive once more into the beautiful, perilous, and transformative experience of human existence. As the soul matures through endless cycles of death, rebirth, and transcendence, it engages deeper aspects of existence understood by mystics and masters. One profound truth revealed at higher awareness is the existence of simultaneous lives, multiple lifetimes happening at once across past, present, and future outside the bounds of linear time. A soul may live simultaneously in ancient Egypt, modern Tokyo, and even distant future worlds, each as a projection of the same greater self. These experiences influence each other across the soul's broader field, showing that evolution is holographic, multidimensional, and multitemporal. Another sacred truth is the distinction between voluntary and necessary reincarnations. Early in its journey, a soul must reincarnate out of necessity to resolve karma and learn vital lessons. But as the soul ascends in wisdom and love, it gains the right to choose. Voluntary reincarnations occur when a soul returns out of compassion, service, or accelerated learning, often as spiritual teachers, healers, inventors, or quiet beacons of light. These lives are the most challenging and transformative. At the culmination of pre-birth preparation comes the moment of descent, the sacred instant when the soul merges with the forming fetus. This fusion is gradual, usually occurring between the 3rd and 7th month of pregnancy, as the soul weaves consciousness into the growing body. It is an act of immense tenderness and courage. The soul narrows itself, accepts limitation, and voluntarily steps into separation for deeper growth. At descent, the soul briefly glimpses its past lives, spirit loved ones, and its true vastness before these memories are veiled, awaiting future awakening through dreams, spiritual practice, or inner realization. Thus, the cycle of death, rebirth, and evolution continues. From infinite to finite, from knowing to forgetting, all in service of embodying deeper love, wisdom, and the soul's divine origin. Please share this video with whoever needs to see it.